So this is the New Balance 993 and was released in the Grey Day month, which is usually May. And this one is by Andrew Reynolds and obviously called Grey Day. And these particular sneaker model debuted in 2025. And it was influenced by the 990 series of trainers, which are more sort of lifestyle sneaker trainers. And Andrew Reynolds is a famous skateboarder and has been around for quite a number of years. And also, obviously, then these were designed for skateboarding purposes. And also of note is the notches on the outsole, so they especially sort of signify key dates in Andrew Reynolds' life, sort of milestones really. So yeah, it's a nice little touch, and then you also get something underneath the insole as well, which I think is to do with what model number they were deciding on or taking influence from. So with the details, it comes in a dark grey and white colourway. And this has an Abzorb midsole tech in there, so this little red thing that you see on the back of the heel and also underfoot, if you press on this, it's quite sort of squishy. That's where the Abzorb material is, and it's all kind of enveloped around a, I guess, cup sole that's kind of glued on. But you can see underneath the forefoot as well, there's like an Abzorb material as well, so that all the red is Abzorb as far as I know. But yeah, you know, it feels nice on foot. And then it also has an Ndurance outsole, but you can see in here, I'm not sure, it looks like they're using some sort of fly plate or stability plate as well. That's what it looks like underneath. I can't see it completely clearly. But yeah, overall, you know, like Ndurance is pretty good in terms of wear and tear. And it also has a gusseted tongue, which is like most skateboarding shoes. And that's just, of course, to keep you sort of locked in place and clamped down, and also just to stop the tongue from sort of moving around. And the upper is made of all sort of suede and mesh materials, which are kind of more, I suppose, medium in terms of quality. And the price of these are £120. So with the comfort and sizing, I feel like these are on the medium to firm side. There's a little bit of give, like I said, because of the Abzorb that's in there. There's a little bit of give to it, but I won't say majorly so. And that's why I sort of still say it's on the medium to firm side, which is what you'd expect from a skateboarding shoe. And it also has sort of good neutral support around the arch. You know, it's just very sort of flat. This is like the insole that you get. I like, you know, that it is of good quality, I suppose. Obviously, I'm not an expert on insoles, but to me, it feels better than what you'd normally get from other manufacturers. And I also like this shape around your heel to kind of give you support as well, which is nice, and also helps you sort of feel locked down. And I'd say probably about 5 hours wearing time. I found, even though these look quite wide, I found them still to be quite narrow on foot. And then for that reason, I also think that you probably want to go up at least half a size in these. I basically went with my Air Max size, which is a UK 7.5 and a US 8.5, which is what these are. And typically with New Balance sneakers, I tend to go for a US 8 in the majority of my trainers. But with this one, I had to go up like kind of basically a full size really if you do the UK conversion. And this has a good traction, so it's got herringbone traction in there, nothing special, but obviously the clear outsole is supposed to be more grippier. I'm not completely sold on that, but yeah, that's kind of what's been you know, touted about, you know, and I guess it must be, but obviously I'd like to see some sort of thing to sort of prove that. So with the look and style, I do like the neutral colourway. You know, this is Grey Day themed, and obviously that's what you're going to get. And overall, it does look nice. I like the little red hit of the Abzorb poking through. And overall, you know, it's a clean looking shoe. You know, I think it does the job really. And it's a good one for all seasons actually. Again, because of the mesh upper, you know, you got breathability in there. But I think the suede on this is one of those ones where I think it, you know, it should wear pretty well, because it's not like the greatest of quality. It's like more medium, but I feel like if you put some spray on there, it'll be fine. And this is a good sort of casual, smart casual sneaker. Again, you know, for a skateboarding shoe, it does look more like the lifestyle wear trainers, so therefore I think, you know, they're pretty good to go. And it comes with some white laces, but you also get a pair of grey laces in the box. So, you know, and the other alternative is obviously put in sail to match the midsole, but also you can put in black laces, that's not a problem. So with the final thoughts, I do like the overall storytelling of these sneakers. I think Andrew Reynolds has done a good job, and also, you know, with the PR sort of campaign as well. There's quite a lot of YouTube videos if you sort of search about, you know, gives you sort of more of a backstory, which I'm not going to go through on this particular video. And it does have sort of neutral colourway, like I said, I do like that. And I also like the fact that it's quite sort of comfortable on foot. From looking like an SB Dunk, I feel these are probably more comfortable than those, but it still has that sort of clamped down feeling to it. And I like the 990 series influence, so you can see all these different sort of panels and overlays, which you normally expect from sort of a lifestyle New Balance sneaker. And I think they can do a lot with the overlays and just create like loads of different sort of wacky colours and stuff if they want to. So with the cons, I think they run small. So like I said, I had to go up pretty much a full size, and that's the UK size. But I think if you're in the US, then you could potentially go true to size or go up half size. And like I said, it has that clammed down feeling, which is like most skateboarding sneakers. It's mainly to do with the gusseted tongue, but also the way the sneaker's shaped. So you're going to get a bit of pressure around here in general. So, for me, it's like one of those ones where I always sort of fight against those kind of things, really. And I've experienced the same with an SB Dunk. So with the ratings, I'm going to give the look and style a 4. I think it's nice looking sneaker, but I don't think it's like majorly so I think some of the colourways have been nice, but I don't think they've been one that's been sort of spectacular, where it's kind of made me sort of jump on it. And if I'm sort of nitpicking, I think, the toe box doesn't look as nice as some other New Balance models. That's kind of just a personal thing, really. And the comfort, I'm going to go with a 4 as well. It's comfortable for a skateboarding shoe. I don't think you're going to get much more comfortable than that. And like I said, better than probably an SB Dunk in my opinion. And the quality, I'm going to go with a 4 as well. It's not like major quality, but it's still good enough out of the box. And the pricing, I think £120. It's similar, territory to the SB Dunk. And I feel like they've done a good job with this, especially being a new sneaker with a good amount of tech in there. I think it warrants the price. And that's why overall, when you give the sneaker a 4, it just misses out, I think, for me, because it's not doing anything different than other sort of skateboarding shoes, really. And also sort of saw, there might be a bit of a question mark over the durability, especially on the upper. Because as I was doing my research, I noticed a few people on YouTube sort of mentioned that, they get very worn out quickly on the upper for skateboarding use. But obviously, I wouldn't use them for that. I'd use them more for sort of lifestyle wear. But, it's a pretty good sneaker, but I wouldn't say, like, I'm kind of wowed over by it. If I had to choose between this and an SB Dunk, I'd rather wear an SB Dunk because, it just gives me that sort of different look than other New Balance sneakers. So I think this looks too much like a lifestyle sneaker where I'd rather wear one of those.